During the lockdown, each of us had distinctive experiences. One realm profoundly influenced by the restrictions was our leisure time, extending beyond school, work, and other obligations. While some individuals pursued pastimes to fill time, others directed their focus towards side hustles or converted their vacant garden into sources of sustenance. Urban farming emerged as a pursuit for many. Some approached it deliberately, while others ventured into it unintentionally. This trend is transforming food production in bustling, populated regions and is gaining significant popularity. To talk to us, we have with us someone who has been in this urban farming close to a decade. To educate us on this, let's meet Mr. Johansen Chew. Hi Mr. Chew, I'm Kavita. Welcome to Lifestyle E-Commerce. Tell us about yourself and all about your experience in this urban farming industry.
Okay, my name is Johansen Chew. I've been in the industry for 7 years, since 2016.
How's your experience so far in this field?
It's been a very rewarding experience. I started out as a software engineer without any urban farming knowledge. So basically, I started from zero and learned my knowledge along the way. And so far, it's been quite successful and I've been enjoying the process.
That's nice. Okay, before we go further, I have one very important question to you. What is this thing here? Because it looks like some olive oil and spices and all that. What is this thing exactly?
Okay, so this is our window farm kit. It's an educational kit meant for students or even children aged below 5 to learn about the basics of hydroponics. You can have this, you can start your urban farming.
I'll go try myself at home. So my first question to you is, what is the core concept of urban farming and how does it differ from traditional agricultural farming?
Okay, so urban farming is a farming activity conducted within the city limits. So it can be anywhere within the city limits. It can be on a rooftop, can be underground, it's at the underground car park, it can be inside the building, it can be at your balcony, your front yard, your backyard. So there's actually no limits to it. And it can be done by everyone, as small as an individual, as a hobby, or it can be conducted as a business for earning income.
So basically, you can do just anywhere in your home.
Yes.
All right, that's nice. So tell us, for an aspiring urban farmer, is there any specific regulations or permit that she or he needs to be aware of?
Okay, so if you want to start urban farming as a hobby at your home, there's no regulation to it. You can start anytime. However, if you are planning to do urban farming as a business, you just need to register with SSM and your local council.
Like proper business, like any other businesses,
yes,
right?
Correct.
How can they navigate these legal aspects effectively?
Okay, so at the current, there's no specific urban farming rules or regulation for the urban farming industry. So if you're setting up as a business growing food, it probably relates more to the food industry. And let's say if you're doing it as a retail business, you will be following the retail rules and regulations. Yes.
So my next question to you is, how are Malaysians perceiving this urban farming? And what is the level of eagerness and interest to embark on starting their own business in this field?
Back when we started back in 2016, the interests of the public are quite slow because the urban farming concepts hasn't arrived in Malaysia yet, and moreover, a lot of urbanites they are very busy with their work and they have very little time for their own urban farming work. However, during the pandemic, especially in the MCO, we've seen a surge in interest in urban farming. In fact, that is one of our best years in terms of our retail. And now, their interest slightly dropped. However, we see a pickup in the commercial side. So a lot of people are thinking doing urban farming as a business rather than hobby at the moment.
So how does a person begin their farming journey?
Okay, so at the first step, you need to identify where is the most suitable place at your home that you can grow vegetables. And after that, once you have a location, then you can buy a suitable system for it. So our system ranges from below 50 ringgit up to a few hundred ringgit. So it's up to your budget and your location if you want to start.
And my final question to you is, what are the primary benefits of urban farming and how does it contribute to sustainable living?
There are a lot of benefits for urban farming. Besides environmental and community, let's start with environmental benefits. Number one is the reduced carbon footprint. Compared to traditional farming, your vegetables might come from hundreds of kilometers away from the farm to your house. Whereas urban farming, it can be just down the road a few hundred meters. Your food is from there, your food to your house. So it reduces on carbon footprint. So carbon footprint is the distance food travels from the producer to the consumer. So by doing this urban farming, it reduces this carbon footprint. Besides that, the travel distance also sometimes damages the crops, the produce. Okay, so when it reaches you, there are a lot of crops that are no longer fresh or damaged, so it get wasted, being thrown into the waste bin. And the thirdly, you also get fresher produce because it's just come from down the road. Besides that, the other benefits is to the community. Community get fresher food, cheaper food, and also if you're doing community farming inside an urban area, it brings the community together to foster the community values and so on.
That's very nice. So we can have a safe source of food while saving the environment, right?
Yes.
Thanks a lot. We have just had the opportunity to hear from our industry expert, and his insights were highly enlightening. We thank Mr. Chew for being here with us today. In wrapping up our discussion on urban farming from the industrial expert, we have explored important information that would need to know on this topic. As we shift gears to our next topic, let's talk about our next guest, our digital mentor for this episode. Let's now delve into the expansive world of e-commerce and discover the process of establishing your own online business where urban farming is concerned. Stay tuned for additional information coming up shortly. Are you aiming to leverage the possibilities of online sales and marketing for your business? Looking at current time, we can do almost anything in the digital world. It can be a one-man show bringing your neighborhood to you, or it can be a team bringing the world to you. Let's explore this subject further. We are delighted to have a special guest with us today, our esteemed digital mentor, Mr. Walter Wong. He is here to educate us on the essential steps for taking our business online. Come, let's meet him. Hello, Mr. Wong. I'm Kavita.
Nice to meet you.
I'm so glad to meet you here on Lifestyle E-Commerce. Okay, Mr. Wong, I have a series of questions for you. Are you okay with that?
Of course.
Okay, then let's start. Okay, Mr. Wong, how can an urban farming business showcase their products or services in an online environment?
First of all, the urban farming business is a new and modern business, so they need to prepare a lot of content to educate the industry or the market or even their consumers. So the first thing they have to do is prepare very high quality content, such as the multimedia content to showcase like videos, like a lot of the articles, or even the step-by-step procedures, and get that ready for the internet.
Ah, that's nice. So, what are the strategies do you recommend to reach or engage with the target audience?
So first of all, they need to have an online presence, to have a website, and they should expand to the social media, such as the Facebook, the TikTok, or the YouTubes. And subsequently, they should have the e-commerce platform to ready for the business.
So my next question for you is, how can an urban farming business use social media and digital platform to boost their business?
So first of all, they should prepare the content as I mentioned, and then they should plan it out across the few months, and they have a content to share on the social media, and has to bring the crowd from the social media to the e-commerce platform and to do purchasing.
That's nice. And my final question for you is, how can this urban farming business attract customers and make them into loyal customers?
So for every single business that we have online, in order to have a proper community and they come back for the business, we first have to ensure that we give enough content, the support, even activities, to have physical activities to share so they can have a proper communication between each other, and then we'll convert them into a loyal customers.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wong.
You're welcome, Kavita.
I'm sure our audience values your digital answers, and I'm looking forward for our next segment in our next chat. And there you have it, folks, a fascinating discussion on the digital world. We have covered a lot of grounds. In the final segment of today's show, we'll showcase the Zero to Hero segment featuring a guest who will share his journey in the short few years of building a successful business. We are excited to have you join for that. Thank you for being with us and stay tuned. Urban farming is the practice of growing, processing and distributing food within and around urban areas. To know more about urban farming, I'd rather you hear from Mr. Jayden Quay. Hello, Mr. Jayden.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Kavita.
Hi, Kavita.
Thank you. It was very nice to meet you here.
Nice to meet you too.
I must say, you have a very interesting setting here.
Thank you.
But before we talk about what you do here, please tell us about yourself.
My name is Jayden and I'm an urban farmer.
So, what is the purpose of urban farming, Mr. Jayden?
Okay, urban farming basically we farm within the city to cope with the ever-growing needs of food produce within the city, and then ultimately we solve food insecurity problems.
Interesting. So, what are the types of urban farming do you have here?
Okay, basically for urban farms to exist within the city, we do have three types of urban farms. The first one, we call it as an open farming concept, a farm without any enclosure. The second type, we call it as greenhouse farming, whereas we have the farm sitting inside a transparent greenhouse. And the third type of urban farms that we have is an entirely indoor farms that what we are having here today.
This is called indoor.
The indoor farm, yes.
Can you explain us about the process that you do here?
Let me show you around.
Yeah, sure.
Let's go. Okay, so this is an example of an indoor farming system. So what we call an PFAL. So PFAL stands for a plant factory with artificial lights. Okay, so indoor farms do earn a lot of different names because of the functions and the specialty. So some name them as a vertical farms because we grow plants vertically. Some call them as the climate control farm because we are controlling temperatures, everything's in here. Some call them a zero pest farm because you wouldn't see any pests around. And of course, we do also name it as a plant factory because the output is very, very consistent compared to traditional farms. And what you're seeing here is basically lettuces. And this lettuce has been fed with neutrals, and they are all on these pipes that we call it an NFT systems. So NFT system stands for nutrient film technique, where these plants are being fed with nutrients using these channels. And the light source are coming from the horticulture grow lights as a replacement to sunlight.
Wow.
Yeah, so that is how we are able to plant or grow food indoor. For the nutrients to flow through the entire systems, this is all we go with a circulation method, and it was driven with an active pump. Let me show you the pump room. Yeah. Right, let's go. So here is the pump room. So this is where it sits all the pump in the tanks that circulates these nutrients coming from the system itself. So the pump room itself, we do have these concentration nutrients. We call it AB solutions, which is the fertilizer. So we store them separately for fertilizer A and fertilizer B. So before we use it to the farm, we mix them into the tank, and that is the really used water-soluble nutrients for the vegetables. So aside from that, inside the tank at the pump room, we do also have a lot of monitoring systems that help to monitor the pH level of the nutrients, concentrations of nutrients, temperature of the water, etc. So this is where it sits, all these the pumps, the monitoring systems at the tank.
How frequent do you have to monitor?
It was actually being monitored all the time. That is why we do also call this farm as a low maintenance farm, where farmer doesn't need to come and check often. So we will have all the status of the farm is reported into the IoT system.
Wow, Mr. Jayden, thanks to you, I learned a lot about indoor farming.
You're welcome.
Now, we are going to meet our digital mentor and industry expert, shall we?
Let's go.
Mr. Jayden, meet Mr. Walter, our digital expert,
I'm Walter.
and Mr. Chiu, the industry expert of urban farming.
I'm Mr. Chiu.
Okay, so let's get started. Mr. Walter, as a digital mentor, do you have any questions for Mr. Jayden?
I understand you started your business in 2016. Can you share with us how internet to help you your business operation for today?
Basically, I would say internet is the real world today. So all of our exposure of what we do, our daily routines, our marketing is all relying very much on social media and internet, definitely.
Interesting. Do you mind to share with us your online presence, such as the website, social media that you have today?
Okay, so far, basically, we have our own website, that's for sure. So basically, we target wherever the followers are, then we would definitely need to have a platform over there.
That's very impressive.
Yes.
Do you mind to share with us what you do every day to keep all your fans or the members of the social media to keep them aware of what's happening on your business?
I think the engagement is very important in terms of our daily routines and what we do as an urban farmer. So our followers will have windows through these platforms to know what we do, and also it will attract people with common interests together and lead us to maybe more sales and things. Yeah.
And lastly, do you mind to share a bit what kind of content you share on the social media platform?
Usually, I think it will very much on the lifestyle of an urban farmer, on what they do in a farm, such as how we germinate these plants from seeds, how we do transplants, what kind of plants we grow, how we harvest them, and then the range is the whole process of the farms that will attract more followers.
Thank you so much, Mr. Walter. Mr. Chiu, do you have any questions to Mr. Jayden?
Yes. So in your company, what do you do differently to stay relevant in this competition?
I would say consistency will definitely be the key. In order to stay relevant for the past 7 years consistency is what we have been doing. And of course, moving forward, I think we need to involve ourselves into a bigger picture and objective of the entire urban farming scene. Not only on the products itself, but also to create more awareness and campaign to let the common markets understand what is the importance of urban farming and why it has been a need in the coming future.
Thank you so much for your interesting questions. Mr. Jayden, since we have our digital mentor and our industry expert, what would you like to ask them?
I have this question to Mr. Chiu. How can we actually differentiate ourselves from our competitors nowadays, and also to have more increase in terms of our followers to also maintain ourselves as the leader in the industry?
Yes, so the key here is to find your niche, study what your competitors are doing, find something that they are missing out. So, for example, it can be a product feature, it can be in terms of the product quality, or even it can be pricing. Not necessarily you have to go for the lowest price, but maybe look at what price point they are putting themselves in, find a price point where they are lacking out. So you go into that category. Yes.
Do you have any more questions?
Okay, I have these questions to Mr. Walter. I think we have done everything in the digital world. What do you think we still lack of, or any shortcomings?
My understanding is this industry are very competitive. I would suggest that you spend more time building the content for your industry, and from there you should drive more of your customers from the online platform to purchase your product at the e-commerce platform. So you're also saying that you should expand your more portfolio in the different e-commerce platform.
Okay, this was a very interesting session. Thank you. The diverse and compelling incentive make urban farming a compelling business pursuit. A multitude of emerging urban farms are establishing themselves in Malaysia, fostering farming communities with a vision to empower local residents. These initiatives offer Malaysians an alternative means of procuring their food, contributing to development of self-reliant neighborhoods that are less dependent on external food sources. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have found value in this session with our industrial expert, Mr. Johansen Chew, our digital mentor, Mr. Walter Wong, and business hero, Mr. Jaden Quay. Until next time, I'm Kavita, your host, signing off. Thank you wholeheartedly for watching Lifestyle Informers.